Let me have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker, Ms. Namita Tiwari. With over 2 decades of experience, she brings extensive global marketing expertise. Her position as the former marketing director at Wipro Fullstride Cloud further emphasizes her accomplishments, which have recently earned her an invitation to join the prestigious Forbes Communication Council. Her career includes successive marketing leadership roles at companies such as Wipro, Accenture, and HCL Tech. She is a distinguished alumni of Symbiosis International University, Pune, where she completed her MBA in 2002. Additionally, she has honed her skills through the Accelerated Marketing Leadership Program at the renowned Kellogg School of Management in 2021. As a TEDx speaker and a passionate advocate for women empowerment, she has earned the reputation of an unstoppable voice in her field. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Namita Tiwari to the stage.
I'll start with a story from my childhood. When I was in class 5th, many years ago, I was once publicly mocked for the color of my skin by a fellow classmate. Ha ha ha, they went, she's the darkest of all. Were they reprimanded? I don't recall. But what I do remember is the humiliation I felt, every bit of it. Do you have a story or a similar experience? What do you remember of it? All of us individuals are unique in our own way, but does our uniqueness get celebrated, recognized, or even accepted? Do you think your uniqueness is accepted? Yes. In the world of today, in the awakened world of today, we have a concept called diversity and inclusion. And the answer, or the politically correct answer to this is yes, it is accepted. What is diversity? Diversity refers to all the ways that people are different. Physical attributes, appearances, color, skin, race, ethnicity, orientation, any way that you can be different from another person. That's diversity. What is inclusion? Inclusion means building a culture where everyone feels welcome. An inclusive environment invites every individual and group to come, contribute, and participate. An inclusive place calls for and embraces and supports differences. Everyone is respected in action and in words. Now, how's diversity and inclusion being articulated in marketing? What is inclusive marketing? Inclusive marketing refers to marketing goals and marketing tactics and activities that have a goal to create a sense of acceptance and belongingness for members of society which are otherwise considered underrepresented, underserved, marginalized, or even legally protected. The goal of inclusive marketing is to ensure that people understand that their differences, that their diversity is valued by brands and companies. In today's world, inclusive marketing is becoming very important. It's gaining a lot of traction. Why is it getting so important? In US itself, the combined purchasing power of people from diverse backgrounds is more than $10 trillion. So that's the business reason we need to be diverse and inclusive. 2/3 of Americans very clearly expect their advertising and communications to be diverse and equitable. It's a clear expectation. A Google survey says that 64% of all users are likely to click on your ad or take action if they identify your advertisement, your display ads as diverse and inclusive. That's why it's important that we practice diversity and inclusion in our marketing. That's the business reason for it. We'll come to the other reasons as well. It's important for marketers to create campaigns and content which resonate with audiences which is so sensitive to diversity and inclusion. We'll now talk about how to get inclusion marketing right. Well, the first and foremost rule is to be authentic. Be authentically inclusive. What do I mean by being authentic? All your activities, all your marketing activities have to have diversity and inclusion ingrained in it. Brand marketers and storytellers are always empowered to elevate the voices of diverse people or elevate diverse voices in their communications. But they have to take care that it's authentic. Another reason why being authentic is important is because the communities or the underserved people who we are trying to target or include in our world, they are looking at evident proof that any kind of diversity and inclusion marketing that has been done by any brand is genuine and authentic. So they will look at your advertisement and understand whether you are genuinely inclusive or not. And if you're not, you will fall flat. So it is very important to be authentic. The second rule to get it right is begin right. Have diversity and inclusion ingrained in your marketing processes from the beginning. Don't just create content, create campaigns, create communication programs, and then sprinkle diversity towards the end. No. Make diversity an integral part of your marketing and not just a check in the box towards the end. You have to begin right. The third rule is set goals and owners. Diversity marketing is highly sensitive. If you get it wrong, the price that the brand can pay is huge. It's a huge reputation loss. It can be a huge consumer base loss. It can be a big, big bad story. So inculcate responsibility in your team members. Make sure they understand the objectives of diversity marketing that you're trying to run, programs that you're trying to run. Make sure internal team members, make sure your external stakeholders, your leadership understands this. And then the ownership is very clearly defined. The fourth and the most important one is listening. To get diversity marketing right, you have to listen to your customers. They will tell you if they are being represented well. They will tell you if you are missing the mark somewhere. Another reason why you should invite them is also that they will help you spread the message. They will share your story further. These are the rules that you have to do to get it right. Now, what not to do? The biggest don't. The biggest don't for diversity and inclusion marketing is don't be shallow. Avoid tokenism. What is tokenism? Tokenism can be defined as practice of being fakely inclusive. You try to show that you're inclusive, but you're genuinely not. It can happen when a brand is in a hurry to launch a campaign without understanding the community or the group, the minority group it's actually marketing to. So take your time, understand your audiences well. Don't be in a hurry to launch your campaigns. Otherwise, they will come across as superficial, and that's what tokenism is. Another practice of tokenism can be when a company hires someone from a minority group, while the person may not be as qualified or fit for the role, only to escape the criticism and to meet the diversity guidelines. Such practices can really harm the brand and the company so much more. It is to be avoided. I would like to remind the first golden rule once again, be authentic. Be authentic. The promise and potential of diversity and inclusion marketing is huge. Brands can be forces of change and inclusion on a global scale. I will talk about two of my favorite brands. Dove. Dove, with its campaign on the real beauty, has done incredible work, has incredibly connected to the consumers in a big way. It has connected the brand to real people and moved away from the standards of a brand connecting to a perfect size or an unrealistic beauty standard. The Real Beauty campaign from Dove is a very good example. I really like what Dove does. Dove has also done a campaign around messages for children to bring up healthy beauty standards and avoid negativity of body shaming from the beginning, from the right age. The second example that I want to talk about is Nike. Nike has an interesting campaign called Until We All Win. This campaign inspires people from the sports world to take action and bring change in their communities. The campaign goes that equality is not a game, but it's the greatest victory if we all win it. To conclude, I would like to inspire marketers in the room to not just understand the business needs of diversity and inclusion and work towards them, but have the bigger picture in the mind and the larger goal in the heart. Let inclusion marketing be instrumental in connecting with people. Go beyond the business case. Find ways to create inclusive places where you are connecting with people, connecting different dots, connecting diverse dots. Through this, you will be able to create more stories, hear more stories, share more stories. And that's how we close inequality gaps. With this aspiration, I end my talk. Thank you.